happy to announce that I am 11 weeks pregnant.
Oh, quit talking about her. I'm obsessed. No, I'm just thinking of things in my life.
All the things that I wanted in a mother, I want to give to this baby. Knowing that I am a mother now. And I'm happy. And I just want to be a good mother for my child. I want to be everything my mother wasn't.
In a surprising turn of events, Ryan Anderson continues to discuss Gypsy Rose despite his claims of wanting to move on. During a TikTok live session, Ryan delved into the behind-the-scenes details of the Lifetime show and shared his feelings about Gypsy, along with the criticism he's been facing. The ongoing drama between Ryan and Gypsy escalated further on Tuesday when news broke that Gypsy is pregnant with her boyfriend, Ken. This revelation left many followers of the former couple's saga eagerly anticipating Ryan's reaction, especially since he had spent the last few weeks lamenting about missing Gypsy and revealing that she had called him to express her own feelings of longing. Gypsy, on the other hand, has accused Ryan of repeatedly changing his phone number to contact her, denying any attempts to reach out to him. The news of Gypsy's pregnancy was particularly shocking to viewers of the Lifetime reality show featuring her and Ryan. Just last week, an episode showed Gypsy's sister accompanying her to get a Plan B pill, as Gypsy had stated she wasn't ready to become a mother yet. This revelation has added another layer of intrigue to the already dramatic narrative.
I know in the big picture, Ryan and I want a family, but right now it's just not, wrong timing, it's just not gonna work out for us. And also it wouldn't be fair to the child either. I'm not 100% giving myself to the things that I'm already doing, and I'm not giving 100% to myself right now. So I know that I wouldn't be able to give 100% of myself to the child.
In the same episode, she admitted that while Ryan was eager to start a family, she wasn't ready, and acknowledged that he would have strong feelings about her taking the Plan B pill.
So I know that Ryan, part of him, is probably gonna be like, that was a missed opportunity. What happens if you weren't pregnant? There's that part of me that knows that he wants a child. There's a lot of roadblocks that we're having to face right now. And so I just want to make sure that I'm 100%, he's 100%, that we're stable for the child. And that's just not right now.
So, for that episode to have just aired, and then Gypsy announcing her pregnancy with Ken, it surely took people by surprise. Gypsy shared the news on YouTube, providing more details about how far along she is, and clarifying that the pregnancy was not planned.
I'm happy to announce that I am 11 weeks pregnant. Ken and I are expecting our very first child come January of 2025. We're both very excited. This was not planned at all. It was completely unexpected. But we're both very excited to take on this new journey of parenthood.
Now, with Gypsy revealing that she is 11 weeks pregnant, people have been doing the math and noting the close timing to her split from Ryan Anderson. Some have accused Gypsy of not knowing who the father is, but based on the timeline, it seems likely to be Ken. Not everyone is convinced, though. On March 28th, Gypsy announced on Facebook that she and Ryan were getting a divorce. Just days later, she was seen with Ken. Given the circumstances, it's doubtful that she and Ryan were romantically involved around the time of their divorce announcement. 11 weeks ago from this week would be around the end of April. And despite Gypsy and Ken's early April TikTok live, where they claimed they weren't intimate, it's reasonable to believe they were by the end of that month.
She's not pregnant.
Like, what the hell?
And we have not had any intimacy. We're just hanging out. We're just total friends. We're just hanging out as friends. That's all it is.
However, some people still want to believe that the baby could be Ryan's, despite the dates aligning with Ken. In Gypsy's YouTube video, she addressed concerns she anticipated from viewers, such as doubts about her readiness to have a child. She responded by saying she has felt a change in herself and now feels ready for motherhood.
There are going to be people that feel like I'm not ready to be a mother. And I don't know if anyone's really ready to become a mother. I don't know anybody that said, okay, I'm ready, I'm doing this, you know? I think in my experience, everybody that I've ever talked to, they're like, it just happened. And so I feel a shift in myself.
She also mentioned that after finding out she was pregnant, none of the internet drama mattered to her anymore. She didn't care about what people had to say about her.
When I found out that I was pregnant, none of anything else mattered. The drama on social media, the feud between creator and me and all of that drama just all faded. It didn't matter anymore. All that matters is making sure that I'm healthy, the baby's healthy, my relationship with Ken is healthy, and we are moving forward in a positive way. It's an amazing feeling when your whole world shifts. And suddenly it's not about you. It's not about anything other than the tiny little life that's inside you.
It seems she found out about the pregnancy amidst all this chaos. Gypsy shared her baby registry on her Instagram story, which was quickly bought up. This action received some backlash, as some people disliked her asking for baby items. However, many others are supportive and want to see her succeed in this new chapter. Meanwhile, Ryan Anderson appears less supportive, given his recent comments about Gypsy on TikTok Live, where he disparaged her by calling her a bop, implying she has been promiscuous.
Gypsy's live, and I'm not going to say her name anymore, but the girl, I need to call her something besides her name. But I've only ever called her pet names. I'm going to call her the bop. No, I'm just joking. That's a joke.
Gypsy and Ken addressed Ryan's comments, pointing out that they didn't make any sense since Gypsy has only been with 2 people. They just laughed it off.
A lot of bop.
Yeah, she's been with 2 whole people. Crazy.
I'm such a bop.
2 whole people.
2 whole people since I've been out of prison.
Yeah.
Ryan went live the other night to apologize for his comment.
That was a stupid joke. I shouldn't have done that. That was dumb.
This apology is part of the ongoing back and forth between Gypsy and Ryan. Although he hasn't commented on Gypsy's pregnancy yet, he has made other remarks about her. During his live session, Ryan mentioned that he is uncertain about writing a book, as he had previously suggested, but he emphasized that he is holding on to Gypsy's secrets, which would be revealed if he decides to proceed with the book.
When I did that video about a book, guys, I don't even know if I want to do that. Like, you got to realize, yeah, people would probably read it, but I would have to tell all of Gypsy's secrets, all of her things that only I know or only her people know. Like, that's a hard thing to do to somebody. You know, she knows my secrets. Like, if I said something, she would tell mine. Like, you know, do I really want to go down that road? And I'm just being honest. Like, yes, I'd probably make some money, but sometimes is money worth it?
Ryan's continuous expressions of missing Gypsy and regretting how things turned out led me to think he might not have known about her pregnancy until she publicly announced it. It's puzzling why, just 3 days earlier, he would express such emotions if he already knew she was about to start a family with someone else.
I see a lot of questions. Do I miss Gypsy? Do I miss Gypsy? Do you miss Gypsy? Like, because I married her. I mean, you don't just marry somebody if you don't love them. I mean, at least I hope not. Like, I get it. I get it. Move on, I get it. Like, it's not that I don't understand that, but I have to move at my own pace.
The other night, Ryan was asked if he thought Gypsy was pregnant, as there had been speculation about it. He appeared completely unaware and unwilling to discuss the topic. From my perspective, I don't believe he was trying to cover up any knowledge that she might be pregnant, but simply didn't have the information. His recent remarks about Gypsy suggest he might not have known about her pregnancy, as his tone and comments would likely have been different if he did. It remains to be seen whether he'll continue talking about her as much now that this news is out there, but only time will tell.
About people saying my ex is pregnant, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about it, but I see she's pregnant, and what do you think about her being pregnant? I don't know. I just don't know.
The matching tattoos really got me. That was one that really hurt.
How do you feel about Gypsy reuniting with her ex, Ken Urker?
How do you think I feel on that? How would you feel? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Me and Gypsy, love was never our problem. Like, we still have love for each other. It's not an issue. You know,
So I'm gonna tell them the story. So the first time that Ken came to visit me in early April, and I think that was like the first moment that like I felt like, oh my God, my heart is pounding so fast. I'm so in love with this man.
For those who don't remember, Gypsy and Ryan got hitched while she was still in prison back in July 2022. From my perspective, Ryan seemed like a big emotional crutch for Gypsy during a really tough time. It looks like she leaned on him a lot while she was behind bars. Once she was released, she probably started seeing things in a new light and realized he wasn't her dream guy after all. Gypsy is a really intriguing person, not just because of her criminal past, but also because of her limited life experience. She spent those crucial years growing up in prison, so she didn't get the chance to learn about or experience romantic relationships like most people do. Navigating a relationship was probably a brand new adventure for her, and it looks like she's still figuring things out.
Me and Gypsy, the love we have for each other hasn't changed. You know, it's just a lot of things have taken place, but love was never our issue.
So then what happened?
Man, just a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still in processing, still reflecting and trying to piece things together.
Ryan says he's still trying to wrap his head around the whirlwind of his marriage to Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Everything happened so quickly, and now he's left to figure out what went wrong. Just 2 months ago, they were married, and now he hasn't seen her at all. You can actually watch their relationship and breakup play out on her docuseries, Life After Lockup. After watching the first episode and seeing her get out of prison with Ryan constantly hovering over her would drive anyone insane. He wouldn't give her a moment's peace, always touching her and talking about getting intimate. It was super awkward, especially since she had only been out of jail for a couple of hours. She didn't want to be all over him. She wanted to relish her freedom, maybe catch up on everything she'd missed on. Ryan says they had a fight and then she just took off. He hasn't seen her since. He described it like 1 minute they were married and the next she was gone. Now he's left trying to piece together what really happened.
One of her friends has alleged that you got into Gypsy's face and you screamed at her. In your assessment, were you ever overly aggressive or physically threatening to her?
No, I've never physically threatened Gypsy at all, and she knows that.
Mm-hmm.
She's even said that. She's not afraid of me, and there's no reason to be.
Where would that come from?
I'm sure it was during our disagreement. You know, I mean, Gypsy said some hurtful things, and I did get angry. I got upset, you know.
So here's the lowdown on Ryan. We kind of know what went down between him and Gypsy. Word has it, Gypsy sent one of her friends, who might also be her cousin, to spill the tea to the media. This friend shared that Ryan got all up in Gypsy's face and yelled at her. Gypsy was really scared, thinking he might hit her. Even though he didn't, it brought back bad memories of the abuse from her mother. Her first reaction was to brace herself for the worst. Thankfully, she managed to get somewhere safe and called her lawyer. Ryan is a big guy, and Gypsy mentioned how genuinely terrifying it was. She felt like she was on a leash. She compared it to being locked up in a prison cell, feeling trapped in her own home and marriage. She just couldn't take it anymore, which makes total sense. Honestly, seeing how he was always hovering over her was enough to frustrate me.
It's hard to hear stuff like when you're going through something and she tells you something, you know, it's hard to hear. So as far as, you know, me in her face screaming, if that's what she gathered from that, I hate that. But, you know, it didn't happen quite like the friend said, and, you know, it's just a disagreement and it snowballed from there. You know, Gypsy does struggle with PTSD from what her mother did, and I hit a trauma trigger that night, and she fled. And it was one of those where I saw it happened, and I immediately stopped and tried to check on her, and by then it was like that fight or fight PTSD moment happened. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. I hit a trauma trigger, and it just never stopped.
Ryan admitted that during their final argument, Gypsy said some really hurtful things, and he got pretty upset. It's tough to hear harsh words when you're already going through something, and it seems like she was just being honest with him, but he couldn't handle it. Ryan mentioned that he did get angry and upset, but he denies that it was as aggressive or violent as her friend described. He recognizes that he struck a nerve, but he's not saying Gypsy is a victim here. It's just part of two people getting to know each other. During his interview with ET, Ryan seemed unsure about the future of his relationship with Gypsy. He said they've kept in touch since their split, but it's not like they're on the phone all night. They still communicate, though. He was a bit confused when Gypsy recently messaged him to show off her new look after getting some cosmetic surgery and a new hairstyle. It's like she wanted to let him know she's doing better without him. Ryan said it feels like they're all watching Gypsy Rose go through high school together. He has no desire to talk things out with Ken, Gypsy's ex-fiancé and now current boyfriend. Ryan is baffled by how quickly Gypsy reunited with Ken, especially since she was just married to him. Ken and Gypsy had a thing back in 2019. They got engaged, but he freaked out about marrying a felon and ran off. Ryan feels blindsided by how fast everything happened. One minute she's saying she's going to stay with her parents for the weekend, and the next, she's in love with Ken and calling him her soulmate. Even though she was just married to Ryan a week ago, his feelings are definitely valid here.
You didn't really know that she was continuing correspondence
Correct.
with Ken. You were not aware of that.
Not at the time, no.
When did you find out?
After she left.
Did she tell you?
Yes and no.
What does that mean?
I mean, like, after I was confronted, I confronted her about it, and she told me the truth. Yeah.
So someone else told you?
I saw them got together, that, like I saw a picture and all that.
When it comes to Ken and Ryan meeting, Ryan made it clear he wants nothing to do with him. He said, "He doesn't want to see me, he doesn't want to catch me in public, that's all I'm saying." It sounds like Ryan is ready to throw some hands at Ken over Gypsy. Whatever it is about Gypsy that has these guys so worked up, it's got them practically fighting over her. It's funny how this article notes that Ryan's a teacher, and it mentions he had no comment when asked what he'd say to Ken if Ken watched the ET interview. But Ryan did have some words for Gypsy, saying she knows the truth about what happened between them. Despite the hard feelings, Ryan insisted that love was never the issue in their relationship. He said, "The love that me and Gypsy have for each other will never go away. We still care about each other and we still love each other, just things got in the way." He's still questioning things to this day and admits that when he talks to Gypsy, he'll have moments of doubt and wonder. Even though the love remains, Ryan is no longer wearing his wedding ring. He got pretty candid with ET about how tough things have been for him. He never imagined becoming a reality TV star and said there's been a lot of damage done. One thing that really hurt him was when Gypsy got matching tattoos with Ken, her ex-fiancé. He said, "That killed me. It's one of those things that's very permanent and you can't take it back." That's a powerful example of how deep the impact is because tattoos are forever. Ryan also blames some of the issues on the series, saying, "I didn't realize filming would impact us as much as it did. I think the outside influences got involved, but I'm still processing it." He believes the freedom and fame have changed Gypsy, saying, "I see changes that have happened. She's definitely not the girl I fell in love with." He thinks we'll be able to piece a lot of this together through the documentary, but there are still a lot of questions from people online, and he's still questioning things himself.
I married Gypsy because that was the one for me. That was who I wanted to be with the rest of my life. And, and she wanted that. And, and as a prisoner, she has to set all that up. I can't talk to the chaplain. I can't do anything. She has to do all of that. So at any point, she could have said, "No, I don't want to get married." But, she went through with it.
There are plenty of folks out there who can't stand Gypsy Rose, so naturally they're siding with Ryan. He's even said that social media has been treating him well, claiming that 98% of the comments he gets are supportive. He's amazed by the love and support he receives just for being himself. Ryan sees himself as a genuine person who fell in love with Gypsy. A lot of people believe Gypsy divorced Ryan to get back with her ex-fiancé Ken, but she says that's not the case at all. She thinks it was more about insecurities that had been lingering for a while. Gypsy mentioned that she called Ken 2 weeks before her marriage to Ryan, but it wasn't about leaving Ryan for Ken. She says Ken has always been in the background, but she tried to focus on her marriage. The real issue wasn't leaving Ryan for Ken. It was more about realizing she still had feelings for Ken after the fact. Now, things between Ken and Gypsy have been getting pretty messy on social media. They've been doing live streams together, and it's all out there for everyone to see. So I thought we should check out one of their latest live streams and see what's going on.
Despite rumors and controversy, we actually did not see each other for the first time until after. So it was early April that we first saw each other.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to tell them the story. So the first time that Ken came to visit me in early April, it was our first time seeing each other again in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has a Jeep. And so I'm riding the Jeep. He takes the top down, and we start jamming out to Cruel Summer. And I think that was like the first moment that like I felt like, oh my God, my heart is pounding so fast. I'm so in love with this man. Like, it was like the scene of a movie. It was so romantic.
I love it. I'm just classic. Love Story is the best song. Love Story.
Are we going to renew the engagement?
Stay tuned. When are y'all having kids?
It's in God's timing.
What part of Louisiana are you from? Well, I'm not from Louisiana. I'm from Georgia originally. She's from Louisiana, from Golden Meadow. But she lives in Cutoff, and I live in New Orleans. Can we see your tattoos? I mean, sure.
Yeah. Although, you're not doing this very well. Okay.
There we go.
All right, we'll just keep it like that.
There we go.
Gypsy Rose's reality show, Life After Lockup, just premiered its first episode this week, and viewers have a lot to say about it, especially regarding her ex-husband, Ryan. Besides the drama from the show, Gypsy is also dealing with some backlash online while Ryan tries to make her out to be a liar. It's a wild situation, so let's break it down. The first episode aired this past Monday, and reactions have been pouring in. Initially, when Gypsy and Ryan announced their separation and she was seen with her ex-fiancé Ken, people felt sorry for Ryan. But after watching the show, opinions have shifted. Viewers now find Ryan creepy and overbearing. The episode shows Gypsy getting released from prison and spending her first day outside. Ryan is visibly excited to finally touch her and be close to her, which didn't sit well with many viewers. Clips on TikTok have people saying they felt overstimulated just watching it, feeling Gypsy needed some space. Although she seemed happy and wasn't resisting him, viewers thought it was a sign of their incompatibility. One notable moment was right after her release when Gypsy and Ryan called her family to share the news. As they ended the call, Ryan said, "We gots to go, it's my time with my wife," which hinted at his possessiveness. Later, sources close to Gypsy revealed that Ryan often got jealous of the time she spent with her family, especially her dad, thinking she should be with him instead. This moment on the show might have been an early sign of that issue. The episode also gives us a glimpse into their first day together, from the night of her release to meeting her family the next day. The reason people found Ryan creepy was mainly because he kept touching her, talking about things they hadn't done before, and complimenting her constantly. He was just really excited to be with her, but viewers thought it was a bit too much, especially when they discussed their first intimate night together. Overall, the show has sparked a lot of conversations, and the dynamics between Gypsy and Ryan are definitely at the center of it.
Oh, last night was great. Great. We got to love on each other.
We got to consummate our marriage.
We did get to do that. She was so nervous. It was
Not for long.
Not for long. She got into it. No, it was great. It was great. I married the right woman.
He always used to say, "I'm a dynamo," and I'm like, every guy says that. No, he's a dynamo.
You heard that?
People had a lot to say about the clips from the show. One comment mentioned feeling smothered, suggesting that Gypsy needed some breathing room. It's interesting how opinions about Ryan changed, with some viewers starting to think he's a bit creepy. Watching the first episode, many found the scenes uncomfortable and forced, almost yucky. Some even joked that they would have booked their own hotel room right away to escape the awkwardness. Despite the discomfort, some people empathized with Ryan, noting that he seemed genuinely fond of Gypsy, although it's a bit sad given how things turned out. After their first night together, There was a revealing moment about why Gypsy wanted to go shoe shopping as her first activity post-release. Paparazzi caught them buying shoes, revealing that Ryan had gotten her knee-high heeled boots that didn't fit, which explained why she was barefoot after leaving the hotel. It seems like in future episodes we'll get a deeper dive into Gypsy's dynamics with her ex-fiancé Ken and how things unfolded with Ryan. There's a scene teased where they're in the car, and Ryan suggests she call Ken, hinting at the direction their relationship might take.
I just think that I would be happier somewhere else.
No, don't call Ken. You're probably already talking to him.
Ken got in touch with Gypsy's mom, Christy, after she was released. He wanted to send his best wishes to Gypsy and clarify why he ended things with her earlier. It seems the media frenzy after the HBO documentary Mommy Dead and Dearest played a role in their breakup. However, reaching out again seemed to reignite something between them. They've now moved beyond friendship and are officially dating after Gypsy's split from Ryan. In a recent interview with Entertainment Tonight, Gypsy opened up about her marriage to Ryan and provided an update on their divorce proceedings.
Don't regret the relationship with Ryan, but I do regret getting married in prison so fast.
Where are you at with your divorce proceedings?
We're in the beginning stages, so it's gonna be, we haven't even had our first court yet.
In the same interview, she couldn't help but gush about Ken, expressing her happiness with him. She mentioned that he's planning to move closer to her soon, which seems to be a positive step in their relationship.
When my marriage was over and I walked away, that's when Ken and I was developing a reconnection. I've always loved you. You've always loved me. Why are we denying this at this point? We're denying ourselves the happiness. I'm still under parole, so I'm living at home with my dad and my stepmom. He'll be living in New Orleans. We'll date, and I am the kind of girl that just because we're in love, I don't want to know what your plans are. If you're going to propose, don't tell me, just do it.
Ryan, on the other hand, hasn't forgotten the accusations thrown at him during their initial split. One claim made by a close source to Gypsy back then was that he's a bit of a food hoarder, always keeping the fridge stocked. There was supposedly a big argument when she decided to clean out the fridge one day, but Ryan felt the need to address this recently. He took to TikTok and shared a tour of his fridge, perhaps to set the record straight or just to show a different side of the story.
Hey guys, it's me, Ryan, rocking Alex Bregman jersey today. Go Astros, LSU boy. But anyway, I've got a lot of comments. Show us your fridge for obvious reasons. But anyway, I don't even know what a food hoarder is, guys. That's ridiculous. I mean, I don't have food hiding under beds or anything like that. I do have a gastric sleeve, so that means the doctor removed 30% of my stomach. So when I go out to eat, I can't eat a lot, so I do get to-go plates. So that might have drove Gypsy crazy. But just is what it is, guys. I don't like wasting things, and I just can't eat a lot. But anyway, here we go. Now I need to warn you, this fridge is bad, okay? Just be prepared. Oh my God, the humanity, there's stuff everywhere. Oh God, what am I gonna do? Look, Pixie in the refrigerator, licking barbecue sauce. That's crazy. Pixie, get out of there. Anyway, guys, look, you notice there's some Tupperwares. Nothing in there is over a week old. There is a sandwich right there. There's birthday cake for my stepbrother's birthday yesterday. And then there's a salad in the background. Nothing crazy, guys. There's my Dr. Pepper. In the drawers, there's drinks, things like that. Freezer, look, I got some frozen stuff, some ice cream. Look, breakfast, I got biscuits, breakfast Hot Pockets.
Some folks accused him of having cleaned it out before this video, but he also received a lot of love in the comments, with many showing support and standing by his side. People empathize with him since Gypsy left, but as I mentioned, opinions about him have shifted after watching the show. However, there's a consensus among many that they didn't quite appreciate a joke he made during filming. In the first episode of the reality show, Ryan cracked a "I'm not your mother" joke when they were discussing the possibility of Gypsy snoring in her sleep.
What if I snore?
Well, then we gotta get a divorce right away. I mean, what do you think? What if you snore?
I don't know, because none of my roommates ever said you snore.
I'm gonna get you a sleep apnea mask, and then we'll really be there.
Nope.
I know you don't need that. The moment I said that, I thought, I'm not your mother.
No.
Gosh, that joke caught me off guard, but it got a good laugh out of them. However, what's not so funny for Gypsy is how some folks have been talking about her and reacting to her time in the spotlight. She opened up on TikTok, expressing her frustration. "Don't ask me to relive my trauma for your curiosity. Don't demand answers to irrelevant questions. Don't expect me to heal on your schedule or judge me for my past. I'm not here for entertainment. I'm healing from real abuse." She shared that she hoped her story would educate and inspire others, but instead it's been dismissed by some on social media without any real understanding of her situation. Even experts like Dr. Mark Feldman, who specializes in Munchausen by Proxy, have validated her experiences, yet she's faced invalidation and scrutiny online. After her show aired, though, there's been a shift in how people see her, especially after seeing Ryan's side of things. It'll be interesting to see if he responds to the comments about him, given his history of clapping back at internet chatter. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on all of this, from the show's reception to Ryan's fridge saga. Let's discuss in the comments. Love you all and catch you in the next video. Bye.